So you've decided to become a video content creator. Well, congratulations, because the next thing that you actually need in your journey to becoming a good video content creator is you need a complete step-by-step guide on how exactly you are going to plan, organize, and script the videos that you're going to be shooting so that you can be able to churn out important videos that is going to grow your content creation and the social media platform that you are building your content creation on. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Gloria, and let's get to it. Now, first things first, you need to understand what is the exact content creation workflow that you're going to be going through as a video content creator in order for you to create good enough videos that are watchable. And the very first thing that we need to talk about is research and idea generation, because the first step of every content piece that you're going to be creating is going to start with idea generation as well as validation of the idea that you've come up with. So in this particular phase, research is going to be your best friend. And what I like to do is I love to jump on YouTube, TikTok, as well as Google search, and then I am going to search about the topics that I want to create content about, depending on the niche and the industry that I am working in. So you guys already know that right now I'm really focusing on content creation. So definitely my video ideas are going to be under the content creation and social media content marketing type of industry, and those are the ideas that I'm going to be generating. The next phase in your content creation workflow when you're creating videos is going to be scripting. Now, scripting is really important, and one thing that I usually advise people who are getting started with content creation is do not script word by word what you're going to be saying in the videos that you're going to be creating, because let's face it, we do not have computer chips running in our brains, and a lot of the times you'll find yourself messing your words. So if it's really something you are passionate about, try not to script it word by word, because it's going to get really hard for you to remember the words that you've written in your script. And so what I advocate for is writing an outline, and an outline essentially is going to be a guide of the most important points that you are going to be mentioning or you're going to be covering in the videos that you're going to be creating. And so with that being said, the three most important things that you're supposed to be having in your video outline essentially is, number one, you are going to have the title and the topic idea that you're going to be covering. And then the second thing that you're going to do is you are going to outline the short list. So these are the number of shots that you're going to include in your video. And then the third thing that you're going to be including in your video outline essentially is going to be your game plan, which is what exactly is the value that people are going to be getting when they actually watch your video the entire way through. And then the third step in your video creation process is going to be filming, or at least what is in my video creating process. It's going to be filming your videos. And when you're filming your videos, essentially, these are the three most important things that you're supposed to pay attention to. Number one, it's going to be your shots, the number of shots that you're going to get, and whether they are going to be categorized as A-roll or B-roll, because essentially you also need to understand, are you going to be doing an overlay in your videos? Are you going to be doing transitions with changing scenes of the videos that you're going to do? Or are you essentially just going to be creative with the number of shots that you're getting, whether that's a medium, long shot, or up close? You're supposed to list them down so that when you're filming, you already have an idea of exactly what type of video content you need to take. The second thing that you're going to decide when you're filming is you are going to pay attention to what exactly is going to be your delivery style. Because remember, when you're filming a video, there are so many ways you can actually deliver content. There is the talking head videos, kind of like what I'm doing right now. You can try vlog style videos. You can also try voiceover storytelling kind of content, or you can do screen recordings. Always ensure that you're staying true to what actually makes you feel comfortable as a video content creator, and film those kind of styles when you are creating your video content. And then the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to assemble and ensure you have everything that is necessary for your production of the video that you're going to be shooting as a content creator. I usually have two sets of lights when I'm filming, and I absolutely love my partner for this because he's the one who's in charge of all the lighting and all the production setup that I usually have for my YouTube channel. channel and the videos that I create on YouTube. So you need to pay attention to what types of tools are necessary for the kind of content that you're going to be creating. The next phase that you're going to jump into essentially when you're creating video content is your editing process. Now, I wouldn't want to dive really deep into what editing looks like because I do have in the works a video that is going to show you exactly how to edit, or rather my process of editing, so that you can know where to get started with video editing. So if you have any questions about videography and video editing, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below. But essentially, you are supposed to define what edits are important. Are you just going to be doing minimal rough cuts in your videos, or are you going to pay attention to the sound, the overlays? Are you going to pay attention to the b-roll? How are you going to tell the story? What exactly is going to be included in your video editing process? And once you have defined that, that is what is going to happen to each and every video that you are going to be shooting. Now that we've gotten the video content creation workflow out of the way, the next thing that we need to talk about is exactly how you are going to plan your video ideas so that you can start creating video content. And so the very first thing that I am going to tell you is you need to make sure that you've identified which tool you are going to use to do your brain dumping as well as to do your idea validation process, because this is the video research phase that no one talks about. You need to pay attention to the kind of video ideas that you're creating, and in order for you to do good research, the first thing that you have to pay attention is what exactly is the audience you're talking to. For me, for example, I usually know when I'm creating my content, I am talking to content creators, I am talking to small business owners or solopreneurs, and I am also talking to people who are interested in content creation. Because with that level of knowledge, I already understand what kind of problems, what kind of challenges, and how I can best serve my audience when I'm coming up with the video ideas that I am going to create content about. And then the second thing that you're going to do is you are going to figure out what your posting schedule is going to look like. Now, one of the things that makes us fall off the content creation wagon, I know I have done this a number of times, is you do not have a consistent schedule or a consistent rhythm that you're following through when you're creating your content. It is very vital for you to ensure you understand how much bandwidth do you actually have to churn out the content that you want to be churning out as a video content creator, because platforms and algorithms, especially social media platforms, they do require you to have a set standard of consistency in order for them to understand exactly who you're talking to, how they can be able to push you to those people, as well as keep you appearing in search, because it's very important you appear in search. Because a lot of the times, especially if you're using social media, people are not going to find or come across your content through them knowing exactly who you are if you're a beginner. A lot of the times they are going to discover you through search. So it's very important you pay attention to search engine optimization as well as your posting schedule. And so the third thing that you're gonna do now is you're gonna sit down with your content schedule and the ideas that you've come up with, and you are going to plan it out and see when is what video going to go live on your social media platform, whether that is YouTube, Instagram, or TikTok. Depending on what your content schedule looks like, you need to decide which days are you going to be posting, so that you can also be able to backtrack and see which days are you going to film, which days are you going to edit, and which days are you going to do your research and validation. Because remember, we all have 24 hours in a day, and when you want to become a content creator, the amount of time that is going to take you for you to come up with a good piece of content is also a lot. So you need to plan yourself really well, and that's why a content calendar is going to be very, very beneficial. Now let's talk about how you're going to organize your videos, and I'm going to take you through two phases. And the first phase, we are going to discuss the project management tools that I have had experience working with, so that in phase 2 I can actually be able to show you how I usually organize my videos. I need to talk about project management tools because if you're talking about organization, then we're also talking about energy management, time management, as well as being able to manage the bandwidth that you actually have for content creation. And so when it comes to that, there are three main tools that I have had experience using, and I still use them in my business. And the first tool that I usually use is Asana. Now, when I was beginning my project management process, when I was working in tech, I used to use Asana because of its simplicity, as well as its learning curve is not that huge. And so I did a certification. I am a certified workflow specialist on Asana, and I know how to actually set up video production projects with Asana. I help a lot of my clients to set up Asana for their project management, and so that they can stay organized with what they are doing in the business. Now, when you're starting content creation, guys, if no one has ever told you, you're actually starting a business. And so you need to also make sure you're putting the right structures to help you stay organized and to help you stay consistent, so that you can start making money. Because I do believe a lot of us are into content creation so that we can add a new source of income to the amount of money that we are making. The second tool that I have used and I still use up to date is Notion. Now, Notion is a bit complicated, but it actually has all you ever need in organization in one platform. So if you need to think about building dashboards, if you're someone who's more visual as compared to someone who's more written, if you're looking for a place to do your scripts, instead of scattering your scripts in Google Docs and then you have to connect it to Asana and all these things, you can actually use Notion and use Notion docs, because it does give you pages and you can write your scripts in the pages that usually come in Notion. And the third tool that I've had experience and I still currently use in my video creation process is Clickup. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, I have been repeating this and I will repeat it again for those who missed it. I am a visual learner and I love things that are visually appealing. I love ClickUp because it doesn't have the boring colors of Notion. It is very vibrant. It has a lot of colors and it allows me to color code exactly what I want to be posting and what I want to push out there when I am planning out my content calendar. So I use ClickUp for my video production and I use ClickUp to keep myself organized when it comes to how I create video content, whether that's on YouTube, TikTok, or even on Instagram or Facebook. I make sure that my ClickUp dashboard looks really, really well, which is going to segue us into the second phase. Now, if we jump into my ClickUp, you guys can see that I have this project set up, and if you're on ClickUp, the projects that you set up are not usually called projects. They're usually grouped and they're called spaces. Now, if you jump into my spaces, you can see I have a folder that has been written content creation. This is how I stay organized, because I am not only creating content for YouTube, I am also creating content for other social media platforms. So this is my dashboard. This is how it looks like. And if we look into this template, this is the process that I usually follow when I'm creating my videos. And by the way, if you want a tutorial on me showing you exactly how I set up that particular checklist or how I set up my ClickUp in general, make sure to let me know in the comment section so that I can do that tutorial for you. And if we jump back in, you guys can see I already have a checklist. I follow this checklist every single time I am creating a video. So it helps me stay organized and it also helps me reduce the number of decisions that I make when it comes to video content creation. And so if you need that workflow, if you need a template, feel free to also let me know in the comment section and I'm going to make it a template and share it with you guys. The third part is scripting. When it comes to scripting, I know this is a bit intimidating, especially for the people who've never written a script before, but don't panic. Content creation is exactly what you want it to be. No one has the exact blueprint, or no one is on the high ranks of telling you that you're supposed to be polished, you're supposed to have this script written in a certain way. There's no such thing when you're doing video content creation for yourself. You're the one who actually sets the way, the style, and the form that you want to follow when you are scripting and coming up with what you want to include in your video. So the very first thing that we need to talk about is, of course, the shortlist. Now, I have repeated this shortlist a lot of the times, and because I really don't want to dive deep into explaining the shortlist or explaining how making sure that you have the correct shots is important to your videos, I am going to include a video up here taking you through how to actually become a video content creator, just in case you don't understand what I mean by talking about shots, so that you can go and watch it and learn a few things before you even implement your shooting or even your film practice. So you need to ensure that you understand videography and understand the story you're trying to tell, so that you can be able to come up with a sensible list of the shots you want to include in your videos. And then the second thing that we need to talk about is you need to figure out whether you are going to do a vlog style kind of video, or you are going to be doing a talking head or any other video delivery style that you want to do, because different video styles require different ways of scripting, because your script essentially is supposed to hold everything, and I mean everything, that you're going to be including in your videos. So whether that's the shots, the value that someone is going to get, the call to actions, where you're actually going to be segueing and including your b-rolls, as well as how you're going to be doing your screen recordings, whatever is necessary for you to make sure that that video is going to be of the quality you want, you need to ensure that that is indicated when you're writing your script. And then the third thing that comes into scripting or figuring out what you are going to do with your video production is you need to come up with a checklist of everything that is necessary for you to actually do the videos that you want to be producing. So you need to figure out, when you are writing your script, what exactly is the game plan? What exactly do you want people to come out this video with? What exactly do you want to include in your videos, so that you can sit down and consider that this particular video has been scripted well, it has been shot well, it has been edited well, and everything that has been included in your script or in your video outline is actually what you have produced. Now, I would love to do a video talking about how I usually outline my videos, or how I usually script out my videos. So if you need a tutorial on how to do that, make sure to let me know in the comment section, and I will definitely do that video for you. And so with that being said, I'm really hoping that the points that I've shared in this particular video have been of value and of help to you who's trying to become a video content creator. If they have, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and also if there's something I've left out about becoming a video content creator, the complete guide to video content creation, make sure to let other people know in the comments section, because I am definitely looking forward to reading your comments. Now, with that being said, that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and as always, I will see you in the next one.